Spiritual formation. Greetings, everyone. This is Dr. Gary, and thank you for giving me a few moments of your time to go on this learning journey to explore what it means to be formed spiritually. We're looking at sacrifice, the heart of holiness. In the book Authentic Faith, author Gary Thomas states his concern that we're getting a very self-centered Christian spirituality. It's all about what it brings us. When he found out that an authentic biblical Christian spirituality calls us to times of sacrifice, calls us to the difficulty of forgiveness, calls us to look after the least of these, that we can't define spirituality just as spiritual experience that benefits us. But we have to pursue what a biblical spirituality really is. He would go on to write on the heresy of the health and wealth gospel. The premise of this false theology that we come to the Lord, we don't have any problems, we don't have any challenges, that God guarantees that we are going to get rich and that we will be cured and healed. And that is just false. But there's a cousin to that line of thinking, that if I'm faithful to the Lord, He'll at least round the corners for me. I might have some financial difficulties, but not catastrophic. I might have a few minor illnesses, but nothing that would be life-threatening, because after all, I've given my life to the Lord. I've committed to serve Him. He'll sort of protect me from all of that. That's the obligation. That's what faith is all about. But if that's true, what do we do with the fact that Christianity was birthed in sacrifice? Jesus, the most faithful man who ever lived, faithful in devotions and completely sinless in his life, and yet he died the most torturous and painful death of anyone who has ever lived. The one closest to God was asked to sacrifice the most. Paul tells us in Romans chapter 12, verse 1, that we are to offer our bodies as living sacrifices, that we receive Christ's sacrifice. He calls us to live a life of sacrifice, that daily we offer ourselves back to God to be used as He would. He says that that's the picture of the Christian life. And while He was on earth, Jesus told His disciples that's what discipleship is all about. A common Pharisaical prayer went something like this: Dear God, thank you that I'm not a Gentile. Thank you that I'm not a woman. And thank you that I'm not a slave. Compare this prayer with the Apostles' prayer in 1 Corinthians 9:19. For though I am free from all men, I have made myself slave to all, so that I may win more. And the extreme to which Paul adhered to this selflessness, in fact, would be shocking to most modern sensibilities. In fact, I think most counselors would call him a codependent. Think about Romans 9:3. For I could wish that I myself were accursed, separated from Christ, for the sake of my brethren, my kinsmen, according to the flesh. That's a transformed life. That's a transformational statement whose heart has been transformed. Sacrifice, the heart of holiness. Thank you for giving me a few moments of your time. I am so grateful for that. I would appreciate if you would share this content on your social platform with others so that they can learn about this opportunity to grow in spiritual formation. Until we can meet again, we bid you Godspeed. Bye for now.